Hello and welcome to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. This is the special Election Watch series where we bring you all the news, the views and the interviews from the disability community.
H4P Organization, the authentic voice of ability for persons with disability, brings you the Helping Hand Election Watch series discussing the concerns from the disability community.
The political parties should be concerned and support the training of this tactile ballot because they are the ones we are going to vote for.
I've got to a place, steps up. How can you carry somebody 5 steps up to go and vote and then you carry him or her down?
So we look at how the voting papers are inclusive. We look at how the voting centers are inclusive.
The political parties will realize that persons with disability are the largest minority.
Election is in the air. We must vote based on policies, and our elected officials must know what actually we at the grassroots are going through, especially in the disability community. It is a special Election Watch series.
The Helping Hand Election Watch series with the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of the Helping Hand TV show where we seek to throw the spotlight on the abilities of persons with disability. And like I say, you're welcome. Welcome to my world where disability is not inability. Special thanks to DV Unlimited, Company Limited, FCC, Fire City Chapel, my proud sponsors. And special thanks to you for tuning in to your favorite show on TV. It's the Helping Hand TV show, special Election Watch series. I'll go for a quick break. When I come back, I'll introduce you to my guest and then the episode for today.
We'll be right back.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you are with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. And today I want to introduce you to someone with so much ability. Some people call her the greatest friend, others call her the sweet companion, and others still call her the faithful worker. She is dependable, reliable, and adorable. And she's committed to lending you a helping hand anytime, anywhere. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome DV Cleaners.
DV Cleaners Alata Samana Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Aloe Vera Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Body Lotions, DV Cleaners Hair Shampoos, DV Cleaners Hair Conditioners, DV Cleaners Liquid Detergents, DV Cleaners Hand Wash, DV Cleaners Floor Cleaners, DV Cleaners Toilet Cleaners, DV Cleaners Cake Soaps, and now introducing DV Cleaners Hand Sanitizers. For bulk purchase, call us on +233 278 308 246 or +233 244 467 326. DV Cleaners, one of the top most made in Ghana products. DV Cleaners, proudly Ghanaian.
And so remember that anytime you purchase any of the DV Cleaners range of products, you are lending a helping hand to a person with disability and you are supporting H4P Organization's special advocacy for persons with disability. DV Cleaners!
Nature's finest touch! Is the Helping Hand Election Watch series with the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show. It's a special Election Watch series. Election 2024 is in the air. H4P representative Mr. Philip Tete is in the studios, and we are going to discuss issues pertaining to the elections as it relates to persons with disability. Mr. Philip Tete, thank you once again for your time.
Thank you very much, Bishop.
It's a special Election Watch series, and H4P, you are not just doing the Election Watch to sensitize Ghanaians and to bring to the fore the concerns of the disability community, but you are also campaigning for peace. You are preaching peace before, during, and after the elections. Kudos to you. But I want to start off with one of the uniqueness I find about the disability advocacy of the H4P organization. Most organizations would focus on one particular disability grouping, but H4P, you cut across all the disability groupings. Why is that?
Thank you very much, Bishop. It's an honor to be on your show. Thank you for the good work you are doing in Ghana and even beyond. And I would also say thank you so much for the this year's edition of the Election Watch series. The phone calls you are receiving has been great. The feedbacks have been positive. People are saying that they didn't know even that there was a manifesto that has been developed for them by the main political parties.
Yeah, and even the fact that they have their disability desks that is supposed to deal with disability issues.
Yeah, so it was knowledge that H4P Organization brought to the disability community, and I'm excited that the episode worked and is still working. We look forward that subsequent episodes would equally give good information to the good people of Ghana, and they will learn so much from it. And Bishop, with respect to H4P not limiting ourselves to just one disability group, our mantra, our vision is to bring dignity to disability. And that doesn't permit us to limit ourselves to just one disability group because we wouldn't be able to achieve our vision. We want to see a thriving disability community in Ghana and even beyond. We have personal relationship with the various disability organizations in Ghana, those that are affiliated with the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization, and those that are not even yet affiliated with them, because we get to know that they are part of the disability community. We want to fraternize with them. We want to know what their condition is about so that we can educate the people of Ghana what interventions can be put in place to help their situation. And that has helped us to chalk a lot of success.
Amazing. Well, it's the Election Watch series on the Helping Hand TV show where we bring you the news, the views, and all the interviews from the disability community. We bring their concerns, especially concerning election 2024. And for this particular episode, I'm going to talk to Dr. Peter Obing Asamoah. He's executive director of the Ghana Blind Union, GBU. The Helping Hand team visited him in his office, and we began by asking him the collaboration between the Ghana Blind Union and the EC, especially within this election season. Take a listen.
You know, EC's mandate, it has a constitutional mandate to ensure that all eligible Ghanaians can vote, can take part in the voting process. And that is irrespective of whether you are a person with disability or not, irrespective of whether you can see or not. So it is primarily EC's responsibility to make sure that we are trained and that we can do this voting. Now, in the past, EC has made sure, for example, the last election, all the polling centers had tactile ballots. Okay. So, which means that if you're a blind person and you know how to use it, when you go to the polling stations, you can request for that and then you can vote. But however, our checks indicated that even in some stations, some of the EC officials themselves didn't even know what it was. So sometimes when a blind person goes there, they'll say, oh, they don't have the facility. You see, but it was there. I mean, but in majority of the polling stations, EC had provided this facility, and blind persons were able to vote independently. You see, this tactile ballot is there to facilitate the process of voting. But then some blind persons also may make a choice when they go there and say, oh, no, they want their daughter to help them. Or the presiding elder to help them. That is allowed, but that is what we are against, because we feel that when that happens, you cannot say for sure that your thumb was placed at the point that you wanted it to be placed. So that is why we're encouraging all blind persons to use the tactile voting system so that they can be independent in their voting.
Is the Helping Hand Election War series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
So Philip, this is quite interesting with what Dr. Peter Obing Asamoah is talking about, especially concerning the tactile ballots. How is it going to be possible to make sure that all across the country, all polling stations have this provision so that the blind will not be disenfranchised?
Thank you very much, Bishop. I want to say that we are grateful to the Electoral Commission for everything they've been doing concerning our election and the various provisions they keep making and they have made for the disability community. What we want to advocate for is that it has to be priority. It shouldn't be the case that somebody goes to a polling station and a visually impaired person at that, then is told that there is no tactile jacket at the particular polling station.
It's also interesting when blind people go to vote and they ask about the tactile ballots and they are told that it's not there. Meanwhile, it's there. Meanwhile, the EC has made provision, but somebody there doesn't know that the thing is there. How do we work around such a situation also?
Bishop, that's very important, and we know that the EC, they are hearing because we have good friendship with the disability desk. I mean, and we know that they're going to hear. In fact, they're actually hearing and they would implement it accordingly. One more thing we would like to push is that during the training, we are amply aware that the polling agents are trained, they are taken through process before the day of election. What we are asking for is that they should be told about the disability community. It shouldn't be just a one-liner information or a brief or something brief, then that can easily be forgotten, because normally we easily forget about persons with disability. So I think making good time to educate, creating a particular slot to educate, polling agents about persons with disability. Bishop, there's been instances that I know somebody, I'm relating with a person, then the person tells me on the 6th of December that, oh, I'm going to be part of the officials. And he said that, oh, it was an emergency call, I have to step in for somebody.
It means somebody was trained, but maybe the person fell sick or the person was not available. So somebody had to be brought in.
So it means that EC, again, they have heard us, they've taken the people through the training and they've emphasized on the need to give special attention to persons with disability. But because of the emergency, the person is absent. So if this new person that has to step in is brought in, we are suggesting that the team lead of every polling station should do a refresher course on the morning of the election, that when the team gathers, rearrange the members. Emphasis would have to be made so that when somebody who is part of the team notices that the person with disability has joined the queue, maybe this person too hasn't gotten the information yet that, oh, you have preferential treatment when you go to a polling station, don't join the queue, go to the team leads, go to the polling agents and tell them that you're a person with disability, describe it, and be given priority or preferential treatment. So that when that reorientation is done in the morning, it will be fresh on the minds of the people.
Definitely. And on the Helping Hand TV show, Election Watch series, we'll keep trumpeting the fact that we should be aware, the polling agents should be aware, and the good people of Ghana should be aware that if you are going to vote and you see any person with disability, kindly allow them to skip the line and go ahead and vote so that they can go back home. Because that is what we should do as a matured community. We should do the right thing. Well, Philip, I went on with my discussion with Dr. Bing. The next thing I wanted to know from him was the expectations of the Ghana Blind Union when it comes to the political parties, especially the two main political parties. Let's take a listen.
We will expect, number one, that the political parties will realize that persons with disability are the largest minority. Yes, and they should focus on us. They should not just focus on us with vague and wonderful and beautiful promises. They should focus on us by giving us statements, things that we can hold them accountable, realistic statements that will come back to hold them accountable. And when and if they win, they should make sure that these are implemented. Because let me tell you, there's no way any nation can develop if you leave a section of the populace behind. It doesn't work. And the strength of any nation is measured by the way it treats its vulnerable people. So if Ghana will come into greatness, if Ghana would develop and go to that point where she can say, yes, she has reached, then it has to be with all sections of the populace. And that includes persons with disability, and for that matter, persons who are blind and visually impaired. We want to be part of the system. We have a right to be part of the system. I was discussing something with some colleagues yesterday, and I was telling them that, look, this galamsey menace, it affects persons with disability even more, because we live in those communities. We also suffer from, those polluted waters and all those. And many of our members don't have the resources to move far or fetch water from elsewhere. And they might end up being affected. And one thing that we don't know is that those polluted environments and things would also increase the number of persons with disability. Because those things will have a diverse effect on our health. And the same disability, those disabled people who don't have time for, now our able-bodied persons now will start joining the ranks. And that is something that we have to avoid as a country. You talk about the environment. We also want you to focus on how the environment relates to persons with disability. You talk about politics, about elections. How do persons with disability fit into this? Are we part of their programs? Are we part of their manifestos? We want to see the media raising such questions. You may say that, well, it is for us to raise. Yes, it is for us to raise. But it's also for the media to highlight and also raise these things themselves too. Because I don't think everything going out there, if the media doesn't have interest, I don't think those things will come up. But the media must also show some. Look, we have done a lot of broadcast. Me myself, I have been interviewed severally on various stations and things. Then you go somewhere and they say, "Oh, Ghana Blind. Oh, we never heard of you before." And I understand that, because sometimes you have an interview, it's played once, twice, and that is it. It's gone. You understand? But we want the media to take more interest in our issues. If we are going to get anywhere as person with disability, it will be with media support. So we'll appeal to the media to give us that support. Not only the negative areas, but also the positive one. They say, oh, blind man rapes woman. Then it is a major story. Yeah, but we also want to know that 18 blind graduates were turned out from the University of Ghana today. Or 55 blind women have now become lawyers. Those are also positive stories that we want the media to carry. So we really need the media's help in our development.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned. Success is a product of hard and wise work. Is 60-second success with the Bishop. Stay tuned.
Welcome to 6-Second Success with the Bishop, where I give you success nuggets for a successful life. If you really want to succeed, you must understand the components of success. Success has many components: courage, patience, determination, kindness, love, and many more. But in my opinion, the most important component of success is failure. Most people think that the opposite of success is failure. I don't think so. However, the hard truth is that failure is an integral part of success. Real success is when you move from one failure to another until you learn how to do things differently and better. If you encounter failure in any part of your life and you don't give up, but you press on, that failure becomes an asset that teaches you a valuable lesson on how to do better. To be successful, you must not be afraid to fail, because failure is not the opposite of success, but failure is part of success. It has taken 60 seconds for me to give you this success tip, but it will take more than 60 seconds for you to put it to work in your life. So start your journey to success now.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, Philip, very interesting comments from Dr. Obing Asamoah, Executive Director of the Ghana Blind Union. A couple of things stood out for me. Let me find out from you. Definitely, no nation can fully develop without including the vulnerable in the society. He talked about this issue about Galamsey. What are your impressions on that?
Bishop, I like how Dr. Obin addressed this issue. And again, persons with disability, we are always the afterthoughts. We always play the second fiddle. And it's good to have leaders like Dr. Obin who draw our attention to the fact that when we are addressing some national issues, in fact, not some national issues, every national issue, we should make room for persons with disability. He talked about the fact that if you are discussing women, remember that there is a group, the disabled group. If you are discussing men, there is a group that is the disabled men, so that we shouldn't generalize the information, but we should zero in on persons with disability and address issues accordingly. And the thing he raised about polluted environment, polluted water bodies. A person with visual impairment lives in a community, the water is polluted, and that is the only source of water this person has. This is where I've learned to go fetch my water, use it to cook, use it to bath, and use it to do my domestic chores, and it has been contaminated. In the first place, how would I even see the extent of contamination? Because I want to sip water and I can see through the bottle that there are some things in it that wouldn't augur well for my health, and I wouldn't take it. Now, the person with visual impairment wouldn't be able to appreciate the extent of contamination, the extent of pollution, and at the end of the day, we would aggravate their situation. I went to take in water and you complicate my health, and they are most affected. And we see we are doing the general discussion. The argument is happening. The media is silent on the disability community, but these are times that we raise it up so that we discuss these issues. We bring the disability angle from, about these issues, so that the populace would get to know, and those who are stakeholders would take the needful decision.
Whatever we do, we have to then give consideration to the disability community. I thought that was a very important thing he talked about, that when we are thinking politics, we should not just think about able people, but we should include the disability community, women, children, and all that. I think that was a phenomenal statement. And another thing that for me stood out was the fact that he was not happy about the media. I'm going to talk about that, but before then, let me say this. His point was that the media would come and interview them once, and that's it. And the thing is played on air, and that's it once, and it's gone. And he was complaining about that because whatever is done once a while is never worth the while. And he is expecting that there should be like continuity, because you have to keep hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing, but it doesn't happen like that, unfortunately. This is where I want to say kudos to you and the organization H4P, because H4P is not doing it once a while. Amazing media work, right?
Amazing media work, and several other projects we do in between to make sure that information is disseminated, so that issues on disability is appreciated more. Through the Election Watch series that you've been airing for the past weeks, the knowledge level is spreading. I would like to encourage our friends in the media fraternity that we should add disability issues to our content. We pick facts on disability, we raise concerns about disability, we educate the populace on disability related issues. If we don't have the information, we can contact GFD. They would volunteer people that can come and speak, or they will feed us with the needed information in the current situation, that we can help the populace to appreciate disability related issues. I mean, the power of our productivity can never be complete without the power of inclusiveness. We need to bring persons with disability on board. We shouldn't leave them out. And if we don't talk about them, who is going to talk about them? We must serve as their mouth, we must serve as their hands, as media people, so that the knowledge base will be very strong in Ghana, and appreciation for persons with disability and what they can do will be stronger and better, especially in our country, Ghana.
Dr. Bing is trying to encourage persons with disability, especially the blind, to get into active party politics and all that. It's interesting. I had an interview some time ago with one of my friends. Her name is Nina, and her view about persons with disability, especially the blind, getting involved in active party politics was quite different. Let me play that clip for you to see.
Forgive me, I think it's a very risky business for a person with disability to be part of politics. I know, yes, we do have the right to be part of politics and to say or to vote for who we want to be in power. But with the way we do politics here in Ghana. It's so not safe, even for those without disabilities. And so personally, I wouldn't want to be around a very charged political group, because I wouldn't know where to run. I wouldn't know how to protect myself. I'd rather stay at home.
Is the Helping Hand Election War series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, very, very interesting from my friend Nina. Philip, let me find out. So here we have the president, the executive director of the Ghana Blind Union, encouraging his people to get into active party politics, and yet this is a member of the union who is scared because of how politics is done in Ghana. What are your impressions about that?
For this is a risky step you're going to do, and I know if it has to do with life, everything is a risk. My issue is that the environment has not been tailored to suit persons with disability. So if our friends in the disability community want to take this step, we should get ready for the obstacles, the oppositions, and the things that we are going to be faced with. If we are ready to surmount them, knowing that the environment is not conducive, then we would encourage you to go ahead to do that. Every opposition you encounter, every hurdle you meet, you'll be ready to overcome it. You'll be ready to surmount it. It wouldn't be something that would discourage you, because you know that it is not, a very friendly environment for persons with disability. But we want to prove a point that we are able and we are capable to be part of the leaders and decision makers in the country.
I know we'll talk about this again in subsequent interviews, but for me, I think I have seen amazing people in the disability community, and no matter their disability, they can still brave the odds and get involved seriously in active party politics. Well, I think the caution here is play it safe, be safe, know your limitations, know your restrictions, know your abilities, know your strengths, and play it accordingly. We'll definitely come back to this subject, but I went ahead to ask Dr. Bing his expectations, especially from the perspective of the Ghana Blind Union, what they are expecting of the elected government, any government that is elected, what the Ghana Blind Union especially would be expecting from that government.
I would wish that any government which comes would find places where qualified persons with disability can serve. We don't want a situation where they'll do some cosmetics and put one person there and say that, oh, okay, now we are disability friendly. Look, there are thousands of persons with disability who can serve in various capacities. So we want the government to look at these things, because once you do this, then it means that that government is also contributing to the transformation and the evolution of our society, and that will really show a developing and growing nation. Then now we can go to various offices and find persons with disability in various places. And mind you, they're not being put there because they have a disability. No, they are being put there because they are qualified and they will perform as such. So I would like a new government to look at all these things and do more than just the window dressing. Do it proper.
Is the Helping Hand Election War series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Is the music segment on the Helping Hand TV show.
is the Helping Hand Election War series with a verse of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Philip, this is another incredible thing. I have loved this discussion with Dr. Peter Obia Samoa because he raises some very salient points. For instance, he talks about the fact that when these political parties they appoint one person with disability, then they go about talking about the fact that they are interested in disability issues and all that. Like you appoint over 20 able people and then you appoint one disabled person, and that stands for you focusing on the disability community. I was very, very happy that he raised that particular point. Before you come in, he said you are appointing the person not because he's a person with disability. Not that alone, but the fact that the person is qualified. Because we have a lot of qualified people in the disability community who can fit into most ministerial positions, very, very sensitive portfolios with the government setup, and yet would often choose one segment that we are thinking it will not stress the person, it will not do this, and the fact that we choose one, appoint one person, and we are thinking we have done the disability community some favor. When are we going to see about 3-4 ministers of state who are persons with disability? When are we going to see DCEs, other people, deputy ministers who are persons with disability? I thought that comment was incredible, right?
Yes, Bishop, because persons with disability, they don't want to be pitied. They want opportunities. And Bishop, I think that it's about time government, whichever ruling government comes into power, to prove to the disability community that they have great respect for them. Because you're trying to create this pseudo thing that no, I believe in you, I don't believe in you, I know you are capable, but your disability is more pronounced. So that is that, like we are trying to play it safe.
Or we are doing you a favor by giving you one appointment and all that.
So for us as H4P organization, we are not too happy with that. In fact, we are not happy with that. The fact that if you are giving the person an opportunity, let's do it well. If this is what we want to do it to the maximum. Then we know that you have done it. There are better people, there are stronger people, there are wiser people in the disability community that can contribute significantly towards national development. Let's give them the opportunity. If we don't know them, approach GFD. You can even visit H4P. We can suggest some people to us to engage them. And Bishop, if I am vetted, I was nominated and I am vetted for an office and I qualify, it means that I have what it takes to execute the job. So you can't think that you are doing me a favor if I've gone through the vetting process and I was still endorsed. I don't think you should look down upon me by giving me something to represent something. Give me something that we can bring out the best out of us as a community, because we know we can do better.
One of my very good friends is the Commissioner for Human Rights in Zambia. I mean, Christine, a very good friend of mine, and it's incredible. She is a person with disability. She's doing so well. The records show it's amazing, and we have equally good people in Ghana who can occupy very, very high positions in government, in running this country. And I think the disability community, it's time we make it part of the national discourse. We make it part of the major issues to talk about. That I think it's time we say that enough is enough. You can't just appoint one person and that is your commitment to the disability community. I think it's a very important thing that Dr. Bing raised. Well, he went ahead to talk about other expectations that the disability community would have with respect to the any elected government. Let's take a listen.
I'll just hope that whatever government comes will find ways to unify our country. I mean, after elections, during elections, there are a lot of partisan approaches to things, and I mean, this party, I mean, that party, and we may have some differences here. But after the election, the government has a job to make sure that we are all one people again. Because that government, whichever side wins, that government belongs to all of us now. So I wish the government will look at that and yes, and ensure that we have peace in our nation. I hope that this government will ensure that persons with disability are given the opportunity to serve and contribute.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, that is an interesting one. Again from Dr. Bea Samoa. I played the clip from my friend Nina Okayafo, a gender and youth disability rights advocate and social development officer. She's also a social development officer at the Accra Rehab Center under the Department of Social Welfare. She's also in the blind community. I talked to her about her expectations from the elected government. Let's take a listen.
Well, number one for me would be for them to pass the disability law, especially the reenactment law with the coinciding LI. We don't want a repetition of the Act 2006 715 that was passed but never had an LI to back it. We want a real disability law with a real LI and all the corresponding processes that comes behind it. Awareness creation, enforcement, everything behind it. That would be my number one.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, Mr. Philip Tete, thank you so much for your time. But before I let you go, already I have your promise that you'll be with me again for the next episode. So let's round up with H4P's special campaign for peace. You are talking peace for 2024 elections. Talk to us about it.
Thank you very much, Bishop, and thank you to all your cherished viewers. It's election season, it's election period, and we want Ghanaians to know that at the end of the day, Ghana must win. We have different political views, but Ghana is priority. We can't enjoy the next 4 years if we create chaos, if we don't choose our words carefully. We want to use democracy as a means of electing our government, then we should love each other. We should be united more than ever before, despite our different political views, because we want to preserve our nation, Ghana. Ghana is of utmost interest to every one of us. Fighting each other wouldn't augur well for this nation. But standing together, we can build this nation. So let's keep the focus right, that Ghana must win at the end of the day. And all we are praying for is that God would raise the right leaders to lead the nation in the next 4 years. But if there is no nation, who are they going to lead? Are we going to mess up the condition or the situation for them that they would have to work the whole of their next 4 years trying to solve the damage we create as a result of war and chaos? Let's keep this nation, let's keep the sanctity of this nation. And other countries are looking up to us. Other African countries are looking up to us. So let's be the example we have always been by being a peaceful nation and go through the electoral season before, during, and after peacefully.
Thank you very much. H4P is campaigning for peace, and on the Helping Hand TV show, the special election watch series, we are also campaigning for peace. So I asked Dr. Peter Obinya Samoa, the executive director of the Ghana Blind Union, to also give us his peace message.
H4P Organization's campaign for peaceful elections 2024.
Ghana belongs to all of us, whether you have a disability or not. And Ghana, we have only one of Ghana. And so we should keep it. We shouldn't waste it and destroy it. I was telling somebody this morning that, look, Ghana, We are bounded by 3 French-speaking countries, right? We have one to our east, one to our west, and one to the north. If anything should happen, our only route of flight is south into the sea. And so we have to make sure that it doesn't come to that, okay? Me, I can't swim, so I want to stay on dry land peacefully. And I want to say that what we do at this election would affect the people coming after us. Our children are here. Our old parents are here. The future is here. The potential is here. Going through our nation is more than elections. Election isn't everything. Our nation is. So let's keep our nation safe. Let's hold our nation together. Let's not let an event like elections rip us apart. And any government that should come, that government belongs to all of us. So let's hold it. At the end of the day, no matter what party we belong to, no matter whether we are persons with disability or not, at the end of the day, we are all Ghanaians. And let's keep it that way. Thank you.
H4P Organization's campaign for peaceful elections 2024.
Well, thank you so much. This has been the Election Watch series on the Helping Hand TV show. We have been talking about the concerns from the disability community, and I've been speaking to my very special guest, Dr. Peter Obeng Asamoah. He's Executive Director of the Ghana Blind Union. Thank you very much, sir. And my studio guest has been Mr. Philip Tete, PR H4P Organization. Philip, once again, thank you so much for being with me on this series. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for staying tuned in. Thank you to all of you. A special thanks to those who contribute to H4P through the mobile money system. Thank you so much, and God richly bless you. If you are not yet part of those who contribute to H4P, prayerfully think about it and lend a helping hand to the H4P organization as we keep lending a helping hand to the disability community. Special thanks to DV Unlimited Company Limited. Special thanks to Fire City Chapel, FCC, my proud sponsors. Thank you so much. I'm going to come your way again, same time next week. Until then, remember that disability is not inability. Take care of yourselves, and God richly bless you.